Oh, it hit 300. It hit 300. Oh my goodness. That thing is just ridiculous. Oh, 262. As you can see, there are a lot of scratches. This is a 1950s engine. I got it for $40. I spent about $60 getting it running, but now that it runs, I'm going to run it on the premix. Right now, we're going to monitor the temperature of the engine. Then we're going to drain the fuel and oil mixture, put non-ethanol, no premix in this, and we're gonna run it till it blows up, and you will see it on both of these cameras as well as the temperature. Then we will disassemble it and you will see what it looks like when you run your engine without oil. Okay, I just thought of a problem. I forgot to take the propeller off of it. Look at how dirty this biscuit was. But, I mean, as you can see, it was running pretty well. The carburetor's a little messed up, but yeah, I'll get this thing idling all right. But I'm going to pull the engine up. I'm going to take the prop off so that way we can just let it idle here, and I don't have to be too close to it in case it throws a rod out and hits me. I got it running all right. Let's see here, we're at 105, 115. 140. It's actually running pretty good. I mean, in all honesty. Also, I didn't smoke the impeller because you can see water squirting out. That's funny. Got a little bit of a water leak right there. All right, so this is what we pulled out of it. There wasn't that much fuel in there. Now I'm going to fill this back up with some non-premixed, non-ethanol, and we were running about 107 to 130-ish on the temperature, somewhere around there. Water's decently cold, so now we can have some numbers to go off of. All right, here we go. This is what we're putting in there. Oh, that was not a smart decision on my part. it may have had a little bit of a spill, but all right. This is literally just a cheap Thermopro, whatever, for cooking. Digital infrared thermometer. We're going to use this to make sure we're going to monitor our temperatures as we do this. Okay, I have my temp gun ready, and I put a coat on for some semi-protection. Please do not do stupid stuff like this at home. I am a hired professional amateur, and yeah, we're going to see how this goes. Got 210, 220. Uh-oh. We got 250. Nothing. It just, the exhaust went crazy, but my head's 147, 150. So it really wasn't much action, was it? was. What's the exhaust over here? That was it. We hit 262 on the exhaust. We got 195. Yeah, 262 was our top. But that's pretty much gonna be it. Now should be pretty much locked up. Oh yeah. She locked up. See if I can't do this one-handed. Oh yeah. Now it's still, oh my goodness, it's still pumping. This thing might actually start again, I bet. Let me crank on this thing a little bit. Because honestly, we didn't get too hot over here. I mean, we hit 169, but I mean, my head, 160s. 262 on the exhaust, but made some funny noises, but nothing. I probably should have advanced the throttle a bit, but let me see if this thing will start. That would be amazing. Well, impressively, this thing still has suction and compression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these plugs off because they're pretty fouled with a wire brush, contact cleaner, clean them off, and we'll see if this thing will start back up, and we're going to try this again. See, this one didn't even get that hot. 180, 190 in the cylinder, but 180. The problem is it's just getting so hot that it's vaporizing the fuel and then vapor locking it, but it's not popping. Very, very fortunate. But yeah. Yeah, this thing will, once it cools down, this thing will start right back up. I guess I need, because I don't have any load on it, I guess I need to run wide open throttle. Oh yeah, see, I'm only getting 133 on this side. I got 171. Turn this off, and the exhaust, we got 220, we got 230 on the head, 234. I think 262 the first time I did this was the highest I've seen, but yeah, 168, 167. Problem is the fuel's coming in right here and it's vapor locking before it has a chance to do any damage. Well, I got nothing left in my arm, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to have to shut this operation down for now, and I'll just come out here every day, and I'll try and just start and run it a few times a day, and we'll just wait until I can lock this thing up. But they don't make engines like this no more, I can tell you that much. Okay, I think we finally locked up, because I can, okay, this thing will no longer start. I'm not convinced that it's blown up yet though. I have cleaned the plugs. There is fuel on there, so it is getting fuel. Could be spark related where I messed something up there, but I think what we're going to do now is let's take this thing inside and see if it is getting spark. If it is getting spark, then we'll go ahead and disassemble this thing and take a look at the damage that we have so far from these few weeks of no oil. All right, so now that we are inside, I do want to check to see my spark. Really, I need to clean in here, but I just want to make sure I'm getting spark, because if I'm getting spark, then I'm going to drain this fuel and take this biscuit apart. So let me hook up my jumper here. I'm going to use one of these, and we will see if the thing's sparking. We are sparking beautifully on both cylinders, so we don't have a spark problem. The plugs were getting wet. I wonder if it's just that I couldn't pull this fast enough, or I mean, I don't know. Let me put the plugs in there, and I'll see if this thing, I can get it to start in here, and if I can, we will go back to trying to kill this thing. Alright, so my bottom cylinder is flooding out, and the top one isn't really getting a lot of fuel. I don't know if I internally messed anything up yet. Let me just take some stuff apart, we'll see what she looks like. The only apparent damage that we have is heat. A lot of heat right here. Melted all this paint off, discolored this metal here. Do I want to take the exhaust off, or do I want to take the head off? I think I'm just going to take this head off while I'm here. I'm just going to take this off. We'll take a good look and see what it looks like. And depending on the damage that we find, we will take carburetor off, take the exhaust off, and yeah, let's see what kind of damage we did. I don't see too much damage in there, but yeah, let me pop this head off, and we'll take a look and see what we're looking like. All right, couple things. There's like oil on these bolts on some of them. When I pulled them out, you could see right here, that one's wet, that one's wet, that one's wet. This one was definitely wet, so a little bit of leakage there probably blew the gasket here. But in all honesty, I mean, I see carbon, a lot of carbon buildup, but I mean, this thing's 60 years old. I don't see any real damage. Can see some scraping on the walls, but really not that much. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of scrapes. There is some metal here. You see the metal flaking that's in the carbon deposits, and a couple of scratches, like right here. There is a scratch on the wall, but not very much damage. I think I want to do a couple of things here. One, I want to stick this thing on here, and take a look-see in here. And this is not bad at all. See a lot of leftover fuel down here in this bottom cylinder. This one, top one's dry, so you can see those bubbling, which means that the rings are probably shot. Also, I don't know what this metal thing is around the cylinder here. Not sure what that thing is, but it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, I think the only problem is right there, that scrape on the cylinder walls. That is, the rings are basically shot. Let me go ahead and take this off right here and take a look inside here and see what this looks like on the inside of this. Actually, I didn't notice this either. Look, somebody's broken that bolt off right there. So that's been broken off. And that's why right there they've like tapped and put this little thing in there. So this is really not really doing anything. I'm sure I could split No, this is one piece. Yeah. Nothing there. Alright, so out of all of these, this one right here is the only one that I have a potential problem with. As far as this thing is, you know, got this bad boy hot, and right here, this screw here does not want to come off. So what I gotta try and do, I don't want to break this one because that's a pretty important screw, so I'm gonna try and work it. I'm gonna get some Kroll on it and see if I can't get these off. Well, I just found something that's pretty interesting. That's probably part of the problem of why this bolt broke, and that is, if you look here, that goes all the way into the water passage. So that means the back of this head is right here. So I need to try and scrape some junk off of there. Maybe I can get some Kroll on this and be able to get this screw free without breaking, because as of right now, this thing's gonna break. So I can see some scoring on the pistons. You can see all that right there. Scoring, heating, pitting on the pistons, which is, you know, I'm not 100% that is all from what I did, or if that is just previously damaged. I do need to take these pistons out because you can see these rings are shot. So that is part of it, is when it comes down to pull stuff in, it's just pushing stuff back into the cylinder, so it's just flooding itself out, and that's why I can't get the thing to start. I might be able to even clean this thing up and get it to start. So what I think I'm going to do, I do need to get these pistons out of here. So in order to do that, I got to take this off right here. So let me split the block, and then I can take the pistons out, and we can do a further analysis of what exactly is going on, so that way you guys can kind of see a little bit more about what happens when you don't have oil in your engine. I've come close to cutting this. I broke that. This cable, I don't know what it is, nor do I really care. It goes down to here. It's probably something to do with this. So I'm gonna pull this out and get that prop shaft out of there. And then we'll see if pulling that out releases that cable, which allows me to pull this power head. I mean, this is probably why, I mean, for how indestructible this thing is, they put it together like, I don't know, maybe older people are going to be laughing at this, but this is stupid. All right, well, I still am going to take this lower unit off, but I'm also going to just take this piece off. I'm going to unscrew that Allen key that's in here. There's an Allen key in there. I'm going to take that off, take this off, and I'm just going to pull the cable all the way out. I still think this is probably the dumbest design I've ever seen. As far as yeah, it's pretty stupid to have this cable and there's no way to disconnect it from here to there. So when you take this lower unit off, I mean, I don't know how you take the lower unit off to service it, like, short of what I'm doing of, maybe I went the wrong way with it, short of taking this out, pulling this out, and maybe that cable pulls out the top. So I'm going to continue on with this, and then I'm going to take that off, just get the power head off so I can actually make this video. This is the dumbest thing that I have ever seen. It's interesting, they have tabs on the screws holding the connecting rods on the wrist pins. Pretty interesting. So I'm gonna bend those over, take those screws out, and then I'll pop these pistons out and we can talk. There's not a lot of internal damage. There's definitely some scratching and some chipping inside here in the crankcase. Metal flakes, bunch of metal flakes. So definitely have some damage, but the extent of the damage we do not know yet. So let's go ahead and take this thing the rest of the way apart. And yes, I know normally this is not how you would take something apart, but again, I don't care. I'm just more using this as show and tell. And honestly, I could easily clean all this up and put this thing together, and I bet it would run. So don't get too frustrated there. Okay, finally we got it to happen, got it all out, and this is the damage that we're doing. So as you can see, there are a lot of scratches on this thing. I mean, you can probably hear that. Major scratches, and a lot of what the scratches are is this right here. So you see how these rings, this thing is like poking out. So it got to the point where these compression rings and these wiper rings, the piston rings, basically they heated up to the point where they expanded inside of here, because oil is a lubricant, and without the oil they were expanding inside of our cylinder here. This was the top, this was the bottom. The bottom one did not take near as much damage as the top did, even though it did take some severe damage. But our bottom, let me see here, what I do, there we go. But our bottom cylinder here, you see all those scratches, or I mean our top. Not terrible, but pretty bad. So you can see all those scratches in there, and that is from the expansion of our rings, because they were getting hot and they were scraping the walls in a destructive manner, because they were you know, they were expanded out. Now generally what you're going to find is this is going to show you that there was a lack of oil or an overheat. So overheat will do the same thing, even a lack of oil. So this is obviously because we ran the engine without oil. That's, you know, what it was. But if you see this something similar of scratches down the piston like this, that is going to be an overheat, meaning your rings expanded out and scratched up the cylinder walls, or your yeah, you overheated it. So that is what's going to be when you don't have oil in your engine.